If they do a third one, I'd love for them to explore otherworldly adventures. But anyway, that was a long tangent about Beetlejuice. Hopefully there's some other Beetlejuice fans out there. Lastly, we have some other cosplays on your Instagram page. Like your Wednesday Addams is another one that's a standout for me. I see a common theme here with you. You like the weird and unusual. And I myself am weird and unusual. And you also label yourself as a horror princess. And I often label myself as an Egyptian Greek horror demigod, which is weird because I'm not Greek, nor am I Egyptian. But I do really like horror movies, and I don't get to talk about them enough on the show other than maybe like around Halloween time. But we're going to give to the best of our abilities, and everyone knows I am indecisive as all. This is very hard for me. Our top 5 favorite horror films of all time. Or you I'm sick as ever, but we got to get this done. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see if I can do it with my voice. Welcome to another episode of the Side Projekt Podcast. Yes! I'm dying a little bit on the inside, but let's take a sip from our Run It Up mugs. God. And I definitely need that because, listen, man, you know, I try to put out at least 2 episodes a month, right? Okay, first of all, if you follow me on my personal, IG Hates Chazzy, you know that I've been sick, like super sick, like the sickest that I've been in like the last, I don't know, it's gotta be like 2 years or something, right? I get sick maybe once a year, it'll skip a few years. The longest I've ever gone is like 5 years without being sick, like almost 5 years. That was a record. I'm really proud of that. That was awesome. That was a good half decade right there. You know what I mean? But the last like couple years, I've been getting sick like once every year or something. It's all the cons. You know what I mean? Going to all the cons and stuff. You seeing everybody and shaking everybody's hands and whatnot. But this after, I think it was after WonderCon, this last WonderCon, I got super sick, man, and I'm still trying to recover from it. And so it threw off like the whole scheduling for episodes and everything. I'm feeling better as far as, obviously you can see how I'm doing the episode. I'm feeling better as far as like, I'm able to walk around, I'm able to do stuff, I'm able to, you know, live life, quote unquote, but it's that lingering, you know what I mean? Like my throat a little bit, the louder I get, the itchier it gets, makes me want to cough. My nose is congested. My ears are still messed up, especially my right ear. What is that? Did I say a cough? I don't know. I got a little bit of a cough too. So bear with me throughout this episode. If I'm taking pauses or something, or if I'm coughing or anything is off, or the energy may be a little bit lower or anything like that, still trying to get over that, man. It sucks. But you know what I don't think I've rocked in quite a while because it's actually been pretty cold, but now it's getting a little bit hotter, is this Dreamcast and GameCube and Dreamcast and GameCube and Projekt tee available on the Side Projekt merch store via sideprojectpodcast.com right now, where you can get this in a tee. I believe we have it in a sweater as well, or like a hoodie, I mean. You can get all the mugs that you see me rocking on the show, such as the Run It Up mug, the Projekt Things mug, the Projekt Park mug, and all of the other mugs that we've got in different colors as well. You can get them in white, you can get them in two-tone with like red handles and like blue handles or whatever it is, and then the black ones look really nice too. I still don't have a black one actually myself. I got to get a nice black one and put it up on here. I believe we got the Underrated Consoles tee. That's what this is called. I believe we got the Underrated Consoles logo on a mug as well, if you want to show support to the underrated consoles that are Dreamcast and GameCube if you're a gamer. Plus everything else that we got up there right now available on the Side Projekt merch store via sideprojectpodcast.com. But anyway, let's try. Let me get ready here to give this person the introduction they deserve. With as sick as I am, let's see if I don't cough throughout this introduction. Let's get into the bread and the butter of this week's episode, because my guest this week is a 4-time published cosplayer making waves in and from the streets of New York to all across the cosplay community. Varying renditions of DC Comics' Harley Quinn, from some of the black and red renditions like the pants or the skirt, to the Daddy's Little Monster rendition, to mashup renditions like her phenomenal DC Marvel crossover with her Venomized Harley, to something like her BeetleHarley fusing Beetlejuice and DC together. A previous cosplay of the week here on the show for her Venomized Harley and her amazingly spot-on Lydia Deetz from Beetlejuice. She is only second to Captain Tempest in being a cosplayer to be featured as a cosplay of the week last episode, and then on as a guest the very next. So ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Asylum Harley. You amazing. I love it. How you doing?
I'm okay. I have a best friend with me today.
I love it. I love it. I'm so glad we finally got to do this because, like I said in the intro, I was sick. We had to reschedule. There was all kinds of stuff going on. It sucks, but I'm glad that we finally got to do this, and I'm stoked that you're finally here. I mean, like, how you feeling? How you feeling?
I am over the moon still. I'm still like over the moon when you featured me on your podcast because Lorenzo was like, look at the episode. I'm just like, what are you talking about? And I looked at it at work. I shouldn't have done that, but I looked at it at work. I was like, oh my God. I was crying. I'm not going to lie. I cried.
Tears of joy? Yes. That's so cool.
So excited.
I'm humbled to hear that. That's awesome. Like I said, I'm glad we got to do this. I don't even know when this is going to come out as of this recording. We'll see what happens when editing Chazzy does it. And by the time you're watching this, who knows? You could be watching it. The whole schedule's thrown off. You could be watching this on a Wednesday. You could be watching this like a week after we record it. I have no idea what's going to end up happening. Everything is all over the place. But enough of that. I want to get into it. I want to talk to you about a few things because when I featured you as a cosplay of the week, guest on that episode, Amazon Daniela, she said that she was super interested in getting to know the backstory and the inner workings of your Venomized Harley and like how that came to be. And so was I, and so am I. I still am. But before we dive into something like that, I think we got to dive into a bit like into your backstory on you as a cosplayer in general and how this journey began for you, because everyone has a story on the how and the when they got into cosplay and maybe what their first cosplay was. And I'm curious to know yours, because if you scroll way down on your IG, because everybody knows I do some deep dives, and one of your first cosplay posts was Harley Quinn, I believe in 2019. And then you fast forward to 2025, here you are still cosplaying Harley Quinn. So that's something that didn't change. So what's your story on getting into cosplay? The how, the when, and the why? It
started off in a high school.
Nice.
No one's going to know this, by the way, probably just you, Chazzy, because like off camera, I'm probably going to tell you this. But
Okay.
My name is not actually Harley.
I had a feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is not actually Harley. I went by the name Harley for almost 10 years now, a little bit at 10 years now. Mm-hmm. And it came from like an ex-best friend because I was a theater kid for a very long time, 12 years to be exact. And in high school, we had an assignment to study a character that you really liked. I loved Batman as a kid. I wasn't really in depth with Batman, like with the whole lore and stuff, but I was attached to Harley. And I took the liberty of learning what Harley does, her mannerisms, her, not like her eating habits or anything like that. But I took that on kind of too quick. And my ex-best friend, she noticed my mannerisms changed a little bit, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you're kind of acting like Harley. And I'm like, I don't see it, but okay. And she's like, why can't I call you Harley instead? Because it seems like it's comfortable with you. I'm just like, yeah, sure, do it. And it kind of just stood. A lot of people don't see me as my other name anymore. Every time I introduce myself as Harley, they're like, oh, really? Oh, I didn't know. I thought you were just doing Harley as a bit. And I'm like, no, it's not a bit. It's me. So I was kind of like about it at first, especially with like all the guys be like, oh, you're Harley Quinn. Like all the stuff behind it. I'm just like, okay, whatever. But after theater, I went into cosmetology, and then COVID happened, and that kind of crushed all that. But I didn't let it diminish my motivation to do cosplay. So I started with my very first Harley. And fun fact, I know we're going to get into this, but my Venomized Harley, I did it before. Like I did it way before I became an actual like cosplayer. It was Tiffany's eyes like I just know that I'm like, Tiffany, don't embarrass me. Venomized Harley was a thing before, and I just thought, hey, there's a Deadpool that does these crossovers and like jumps into the DC universe. Why can't Harley do it? And I was always out of the box with my ideas, especially BeetleHarley.
Yeah, exactly.
So after that, my ideas just spiraled out of control. After I did Purge Harley Laughs. I have like 2 other ones coming before like I take a little break because my hair hates me. I do this for Harley only. But yeah, it just took off, and I can't really remember the last time I didn't do a dedicated Harley cosplay ever.
That's pretty cool. And you said, because we are let's talk about it. Let's talk about Venomized Harley as well. But before I get into some of the questions that I want to ask, well, actually, you know what? Let me start. I'll start with this. So I know it's technically is your first rendition, I guess you could say. We'll find out more of Harley Quinn, which is your Venomized Harley. It's phenomenal from head to toe, literally. The gigantic boots with all the straps to the Harley Quinn clothing, to the venomized arm, the weapon, half of your face, it's venomized. The other half is like Harley-like. I mean, when you think of a DC Marvel mashup, this is one that's split right down the middle, showcasing the amazingness of both. I mean, an absolutely job well done. And I have a few questions about this iteration, but let's start off first with, especially because you just mentioned it briefly a little bit ago, where did the idea come from? Like, elaborate on it a little more. Like, how did the Venomized Harley cosplay begin in the first place? Because you said you did it before you became like I guess you could quote unquote true cosplayer, but then I'm guessing you brought it back at a later time, maybe elaborated on it more and then started posting it. Like, how did that happen? So
this happened years ago where I was just like goofing around with Harley mashups. Before I even became like the multiverse Harley, I was just doing Harley mashups. And there was like really old pictures of me doing Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead with Harley.
Nice. Okay.
That didn't take off at all. But like,
hey, sometimes you swing and you miss. You gotta see what sticks.
Yeah, and I did a Slytherin Harley at one point too. Nice. I don't have those photos anymore. I wanted to redo that one, but Venomized Harley was something just came out of the blue. I love Venom. Venom is my favorite, and I loved Harley. And my very first rendition of Venomized Harley didn't come out too well, but I kind of forgot about it years after. And then Lorenzo came out with his Venomized Miles. And I was just like, So I went into my Chamber of Secrets cosplays, and I was just like digging around in the container, and I found my very first Venomized Harley shirt. I was just like, So I put a poll on my story saying, should I bring this back? Everyone wanted it. So I was just like, damn, I need an arm. I need a weapon. I need to really think this through. And Lorenzo really came through for me. And he was the only one that knew about me recreating Venomized Harley. He was literally the person for me to go to. So I do have my arm up there.
Nice.
Yeah. I have my arm up there. That's from Freakish Workshops, and I love him to death for making this arm for me. And I have a neck piece over there that I haven't used yet because I'm upgrading her right now. Nice. So she's under construction right now. But when I first got the arm and I put it on, it's very weird because how I think about ideas, I have to put it on my body first. And I put the arm on my arm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming to me now. Yeah. And I was just like writing out ideas. I was looking through Amazon. I was just like, well, how can I make this something that will break the internet? Right. So my eyepiece came together. I literally printed out like a diamond template on a piece of paper, and I used hot glue to make that eyepiece.
Nice.
It was such a pain to put on and take off, but I loved it. And then the shirt came about. My sister helped me out with a shirt to sublimate it because she learned how to do sublimation. And I was just like, hey, do you want to do a shirt for me?
Yeah.
That's how that shirt came about. And also this shirt, too, for BeetleHarley. And then after that, I was just like, Anime NYC is rolling around. I initially wanted to debut Venomized Harley at New York Comic Con. And when I was there in my pajama jury, I was just like, it's too hot. Like, I can't do it in August in this hot weather. Yeah. And I live not too far away from the Javits Center. So I was like, wait a second. And so I ran back home, put on the Venomized Harley. And I kid you not, Chazzy, not even 5 minutes in the door with that on, I was stopped by 10 people.
I was going to say, and that's where the majority of the pictures came from, right?
Yeah, that's how Venom Hardy became to be.
It's insane. Like how you mentioned a little bit Lorenzo kind of helping you out. You mentioned who did the weapon? Who did you say did the weapon again? Was it Freakish Workshop, right? Yeah. Shout out to them. Yeah, amazing. So walk me through it a little bit more. Like how exactly, for instance, like the Venomized arm, right? Like what is that material? Like how did you do that? Because that's like I see you have that on the arm. You have like remnants of it around your eye. You have some of it on the weapon itself too. Like what exactly is that? And then specifically for the arm, like. Was it cast, that material, was it cast onto something else and then you can slip it onto your arm? Like, how does that work?
Basically the same thing that Lorenzo has for his arm. It's a glove with 3D pen on it.
Okay.
And I told him, freaking go crazy. I trust your judgment. I don't like to nitpick when it comes to creatives. I like to let them have their freedom. So I was like, go crazy. Yeah. And that's where he busted out that arm. And I was just like, I can work with this. And then cool. I got inspired by Critical Mask, who does the Batman Who Laughs. Yeah. I got inspired by his scythe. And I was just like, what if I did a scythe but venomized? So I bought the scythe and I started to go to town on hot glue. I spent 8 hours nonstop
oh my gosh.
gluing the scythe.
Bet. Yeah.
And then I used marker to color it all in. And then I had epoxy spray paint and I sprayed it outside and I let it sit. Dedication. That was the most, it was so intense. I was just so tired at the end of it. I was like, I hope it's worth it.
I bet. Dedication. It definitely was worth it. I like how for like the arm, like on the elbow, how you have some of it, like it's still coming, it's like coming off the elbow. It's not 100% on your arm. And it's like, there's parts kind of like by what kind of, I guess maybe near the wrist for what I'm looking at here, where it's also like hanging off a little bit more and stuff. It's like perfect because that's what, you know, a symbiote would be. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be 100% attached. It's going to be flying off. And it's like, it's so perfectly done. I love everything about it. I love all the details in this cosplay, from the intricate things to that just all tie it together with the little things as well, like having the Batman Who Laughs mask hanging on your waist, like a perfect touch. The black and the white playing off of each other, you know, like a Venom, of course, but then the colors that are more synonymous with Harley, such as like the reds and maybe the blues and everything. Like it's just perfect. Like I said earlier, it's like when you think of a DC Marvel mashup, like this is one of the things that you would think of. It's like perfectly split down the middle. I love it. It's such a standout from your Venomized Harley to, like, you know, Daddy's Little Monster rendition, for instance, to the Harley with the cut off pants, to busting out with what I believe is your vampire Harley from the Vamp shoot that you guys all just did just recently, right? With a flurry of amazing people. And then you have like a few more as well, Harley renditions, whatnot, such as BeetleHarley right now. What would you say is your favorite Harley cosplay of your own, and why?
Why would you do that, Jazzy?
Like, if you can't narrow it down to one, like, give me like your top, you know what I mean? Like, my top favorite is this and that, you know what I mean?
Okay. I don't like choosing favorites because they're my children. But all my Harleys have actual different personalities.
Nice.
So my Venomized Harley is like a sultry, more flirtatious, aggressive type of Harley. And my BeetleHarley is more comedic. My regular Harley, like my Purge Harley or Harley Who Laughs, is more out there, like very rugged, like I don't care type of girl. Yeah. My Harley Jinx is more of a personality like Jinx. So she has, like, you know, the mental issues, and like she does think about like the past and hearing the voices and things like that. But I am a little bit biased. So I have to go with Venom Harley.
Ah, yes.
that's my baby. Yeah. Like, that's literally my little monster. Like, I created that from the ground up, and I'm so happy that I created her, to be honest, cool. Because I wouldn't be where I'm at without her.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I can even just tell from like the photos with Venomized Harley, you mentioned like walking into New York Comic Con and just like within seconds, just people taking photos and everything. I can only imagine. I mean, you could see some of these photos at cons and whatnot. Have you taken it anywhere else other than New York Comic Con, or is it just NYCC?
It was at Anime NYC, New York Comic Con, and then I just did a shoot in Jersey with Critical.
Oh, nice.
If you didn't see those photos.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we were planning that for years. Like, as soon as I busted out Venom Harley, Critical never shot with my Venom Harley ever. He's never seen it in person. That was the first time he's seen it. Yeah. And we got some dope photos together with that one. And I'm so happy that we did. Yeah. But I am trying to bust her out for Cosplay World.
Oh, yes. I'm gonna do the DJ noise in the background. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Oh my God, I can't wait. We have to shoot something, both photo, video. We gotta go crazy with it. We gotta do something cool. Then I wonder if Lorenzo, Team Awesome 418, by the way, if nobody knew his real name, and then also a previous guest and cosplay of the week, and then also Critical Mask is a previous cosplay of the week as well. And we've also shot stuff before. What is it about Harley Quinn in general for you that you find yourself like so drawn in to the character to cosplay the character for one, but then to say like, you know what, I can take this character to a few different places and do a few different renditions. Like, what is it about Harley Quinn for you that draws you in? Like, what made you a Harley fan?
When I first noticed Harley was in obviously the animated series.
Right.
Voiced by Tara Strong, by the way, one of my favorite voice actors ever. And I got to meet her too, but she's such a sweetheart. And I love the vibe that she was giving off in the animated series, but then I moved over into the Arkham series game. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a little bit of a different side of her than to the animated series. And more of the lore of Harley, of what is Harley. And I kind of just gravitated towards that. I was just like, she's sultry, but she acts like a dumb blonde, but she's not a dumb blonde. Hence, my hair is blonde. But I was just like, I can dig this, but I want to take it a step further because I feel like Harley should get her flowers in other universes.
Nice. Same
way that Deadpool gets his flowers for other universes. And I was just like, I need to go outside the box. Because here's a hot take, okay? You can cut this out if you want. I feel like some Harley cosplayers play it a little safe when it comes to mashups.
Yeah.
I said it, okay? Sue me. You can sue me. It's okay.
No, I'm going to leave it in. Shots fired.
You guys play it a little bit safe, you know? But like, I feel like knowing that I'm kind of taking that step forward and going outside the box with my crazy imagination of different Harleys, I feel like it will inspire someone else to be like, hey, I want to take this character and put it in this universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. And you do it amazingly as well.
Thank you.
All the different things that you do at Harley, it's absolutely awesome. And I still remember to this day, the first time that I saw your Venomized Harley, I was just blown away by that one because I was like, man, what I don't know if there is, so forgive me if there is, and I just have never seen it, but I have never seen anybody do a Venomized Harley before. You're the only one that I've seen, and I was just like blown away because I haven't seen it. I was like, that is like perfect. Like, why hasn't anybody done that? And forgive me if they have, I don't know. But I was like, that, like,
I haven't seen it either.
I haven't seen it. And like Venomized Harley, like that's such a, like you see a lot of Venomized characters and people doing different things, but like Venomized Harley, it's fitting, I think. It's pretty fitting to have a Venomized Harley. And that'll always be a standout for me of yours. It's absolutely amazing. But I want to talk to you about more things, a little bit more about Harley and some other stuff as well. But before we get into that, let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. Oh! And this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than, and forgive me, in case you're just seeing this as a clip on Instagram, I'm a little sick, so if I cough during this clip, please forgive me. None other than Convincible Cosplay, and I'm throwing it up on the screen right about now, and it is of his Joker. And Vince is a really good friend of mine. And Vince, we've never talked about you being a Cosplay of the Week. Like I said, he's a really good friend of mine. We've been friends for years. Vince used to have a podcast himself, a gaming podcast. I don't know what's going on with that, Vince. I know you said you were going to bring that back. I think you should. Not really just gaming, though. You talked about like other stuff like life and different things as well, but you did talk about games here and there a lot. I think on the episode that I was on with you, and I've been on his podcast way back in the day. And I've always wanted to return the favor and have him on. I've always wanted to feature him as a Cosplay of the Week. It's been a long time coming, but I never wanted anybody to be like, well, of course he's the Cosplay of the Week because they're friends. So nobody can say that because it's literally like 3 years later. But anyway, let's talk about his Joker. Absolutely phenomenal. He's got so many different renditions. Forgive me. So many different renditions that he does. And they're all equally amazing. A lot of people would say, obviously you can tell that this is based off of the Jared Leto version. And again, he does it in different ways. Like some has hair, some have like a mohawk. He different clothing. He's got like storylines going. We've collaborated together. His Joker and my Black Mask. We have like a whole storyline going. Totally cool. I love everything about it. And a lot of people, what I was going to say was a lot of people may say like, oh, Jared Leto's Joker. A lot of people don't like it. But man, I got to tell you what Vince is doing with this version of the Joker. Like it almost makes me feel like, dare I say, this is what it should have been. You know what I mean? Like, and if you haven't seen all of the different iterations that he's done and the styles and the clothes, you got to go look at it. But this shot specifically right here, I chose this one because it's just beautiful. Ghost shoots on the photo here. It's that, like setting of like maybe a lobby, or you could say it's a hotel room, or it's like his suite or his mansion, or who knows, but it's just perfect with the lighting in the background, the blur in the background, even the blur on the little fixture that's on the table, the little bowl that's on the table, and then to what he's wearing with the bright purple and the bright green, and it's like, oh man, it's perfect. The makeup, the tattoos, and I just love everything about it. The jewelry, even, you know what I mean? And he goes all out because there's some with his shirt off, and he goes all out with the tattoos. Which, speaking of, we're gonna throw that up on the screen right about now. And here's one with the shirt off where you can see that he goes all out with all of the tattoos. I mean, that is dedication because he's talked to me about it before. Were we together? Did you do Joker when we were? No, at Cosplay World, I think of last year, but I went to sleep. I was tired. But you went to the after party. You went partying, and you did Joker, and you were telling me it takes you like hours to do the makeup and everything. Dedication, dude. But as you can clearly tell, it's not just Mr. J here. It's Venomized Mr. J. And I feel like this was also fitting because, in case you're tuning into this just as a clip on Instagram and you didn't tune into the full episode, we have guest this week, Asylum Harley, which she does variations of Harley Quinn. Multiverse Harley is what she's called. Horror princess as well. And she's got a Venomized Harley Quinn. So I thought it was fitting to have her here today and also talk about Convincible Cosplays, Venomized Mr. J. Absolutely phenomenal. Pixel Lens, my homeboy, Pixel Lens on the edit here, and Cosplaytographer, shout out to her as well for the photo, and phenomenally done, man, phenomenally done. And last but not least, I want to throw up this one right here, and I've got some in the background of the podcast, and that's the Hidden Blade, and I'm throwing that up now, and this is of his Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, one of the best Assassin's Creed games ever. Cosplaytographer on the photo. Vince makes an amazing Edward Kenway. We've also gotten to collaborate on that because I also have an Assassin's Creed cosplay, Revelations, the blue one, Ezio, and we did a crossover thing. Amazing, dude. Like I told you, I got to see it in person. It's phenomenal from head to toe. Everything, it's intricate. He even wears the wig, and it fits him. It suits him. It fits him. It's phenomenal, man. Absolutely phenomenal. Guest this week, Asylum Harley. Do you have anything that you want to add about Convincible cosplays of the week before we wrap this segment up?
First of all, Chazzy, Black Flag is not the greatest.
Oh, no! Oh, these are fighting words.
I like Brotherhood.
Yes.
Just saying.
Oh, believe me. Sidebar, real quick. I mean, I cosplay Ezio from Revelations, so obviously my top Assassin's Creed games are actually the Ezio trilogy. I'll rope them all in together. The whole entire Ezio trilogy is my favorite. Revelations, storyline wise, is my favorite. That was an emotional game. But aside from Ezio, I think Black Flag takes the cake after the Ezio trilogy, in my opinion. But go ahead, keep going.
Okay. Also, the Venomized Joker. Like, hello? Like, who, where, how, where did you come from? Like, I saw that photo. I was like, oh my God, this is like crazy with the whole like Venom coming out and like the symbiote doing its thing and like his actual Joker photo as well, which insane. I think that's the very first photo I came across of Vince.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Followed him instantly. I was just like, that one right there.
Yeah. High quality. Shout out to Ghost Shoots because phenomenal shot. Phenomenal.
No, it's phenomenal. I think he portrays the Joker so good in his own rendition. I think me and him have to, link up.
Yes. Cosplay World, we're going to make something happen.
My people will call your people.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And by her people, it's me. I'm the people. I'm the person. Oh, man. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Convincible Cosplay on Instagram, please go do so right now because Vince, your Joker, Venomized Mr. J, and Edward Kenway Assassin's Creed Black Flag Cosplay of the Week for me and Asylum Harley is amazing. Saying amazing just killed my throat. My throat is on fire right now. I want to keep talking to you about your cosplays and a few things about you yourself. But once again, before we do that, I want to get into a segment that I like to call Shotgun Questions. And what Shotgun Questions is a little bit more of a rapid fire segment that never ends up being that rapid fire. That's the irony of it, and that's okay. We always end up having a conversation about it. It's a series about 3 to 4 questions, usually always ends up being 3. And it's nothing serious. It's all fun and games. I don't prep the guests beforehand. They don't know what the questions are going to be unless they tune into the show a little bit more regularly. Then they might get some of the same set of questions here and there. But let's see how much fun we can have when I ask you, Detailed logistics aside, you have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. This could be a team comprised of superheroes or villains across the Marvel Universe, DC, or any other comic-based company. This could also be mixed with gaming characters or any other forms of pop culture. Basically, whatever you want. You have to build a team of 6 characters to fight off a threat on Earth. Who are your 6?
I feel like, this is going to be hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to pick Harley as my first one.
Harley, of course. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go off track a little bit. I'm going to throw you a curveball, okay?
Okay, all right.
I want Wrench from Watch Dogs.
Okay. Oh, wow. That is a curveball. Damn. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wrench is one of my favorites.
Nice.
So Wrench, Harley. We're going to go cartoony here.
Okay.
Sly Cooper.
Nice. Wow. This is an amazing list already. I like when it's like so outside of the box and unexpected.
I also want Victor Zsasz.
Wow. What a random, awesome choice. Jesus. This is a good one. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's 4.
That's 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to dig into my archives here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my.
No problem. Take your time. I know it said it's a little bit more rapid fire, but it never is. It never is.
I know.
That's the complete irony of it. It's never rapid fire.
What is that girl's name from Heavenly Sword? I forgot her name.
Oh, shit. I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
Yeah, I can't. It's like on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember who it is. But her. I want her on my team.
Man, what is her name? Is it Noriko?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So
wow.
her.
What another outside of the box. Okay. And then one more.
Okay. Melina from Mortal Kombat.
Wow. What a crazy, amazing, random, awesome list, dude. That is so cool. Like nobody's ever picked anything like that other than like the Ancient God. Do you know the Ancient God?
Yeah.
Jason, he picked Godzilla as one of his, and I thought that was so crazy and random. I was like, dude, I love it when people pick random ones. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so out of these Batman in film, you've got Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one, and the rest and their universe cease to exist. Who do you pick? Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one.
Oh my God, Chazzy.
Yeah. And it's not just about the Batman because it's the universe. You pick one and the universes of the rest cease to exist. So if you're like a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman fan, if you get rid of Keaton, you don't have that anymore. You know? If you're go ahead. If you're a Penguin fan from the Robert Pattinson universe, if you get rid of Pattinson, then you don't get the Penguin anymore. So it's like it's not just the Batman you got to think about, it's the entirety of the universe. Which do you want more?
I'm so torn because I like Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy.
Yeah, she's good.
And then I like Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Oh, I know. The best.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have to pick the Heath Ledger.
Nice. Okay. Going with Bale. All right. Bat Bale universe. Yeah. Ledger takes the cake for it. You better be lucky, Bale, because if it wasn't for Heath, you wouldn't be here anymore. All right. Last question. If you could time travel to any time period, any era, where would you go and why? And you can have up to 3 different choices.
Does it have to be realistic too?
It's time travel, so it could be whatever.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Cyberpunk universe.
Nice. Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah.
My vibe is kind of cyberpunky.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay.
That was my first one. My second one will be like Greek mythology time.
Yes.
I like Greek mythology a lot. And
huge.
Egyptian.
Nice. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
That's great. Those are awesome choices. I love it. Those are great. Well, man, that was shotgun questions. Wow. I always love doing that. That's a good time. Your team of 6 was absolutely insane. We talked a lot about your Harley cosplays, and while we throw in some of your others outside of just Harley, we do have to mention that you have your BeetleHarley mashup as well, because I don't know if I threw up, editing Chaz, you'll figure it out if I threw up any photos of it, but absolutely amazing. Harley Quinn, Beetlejuice mashup, aside from just your Venomized Harley fusion, super cool. You're rocking it right now. I love everything about it because I'm a huge Beetlejuice fan myself, ever since a kid, all the way up till now. And you also have, which I featured as a cosplay of the week as well, your Lydia Deetz cosplay. And I am in awe over this still, about this still, because it's just so simply perfect. When I featured you as a cosplay of the week, I mentioned that, and it was no shade. It's nothing wrong with this. For any future cosplayers as well, if I ever say this, it kind of got brought up when I had Capture Realm on an episode. I believe his episode was called Creative Simplicity, because sometimes you could take the most simplistic things and make something so awesome out of it, or creative out of it. And that's exactly what this is. It's kind of a little bit more, if you will, on the simple side, because it's like the dress. It's not like your Venomized Harley where it's like so many different things going on that you had to build and create, but it's absolutely perfect. And that's what I mean by simply perfect. A little bit of a double entendre there. And I don't see it too often, but I do see Lydia Deetz cosplays here and there. But I personally don't often see the red dress variation. What made you want to cosplay the wedding dress, Lydia, as opposed to like any of her other looks?
I just wanted to be different, to be honest. Yeah. I do see a lot of like the regular clothes, Lydia Deetz, which is not a problem. No, but I didn't see myself rocking the regular clothes. I always saw myself rocking the wedding dress, and also that scene always like gravitated towards me. So I was just like, let me bust out the wedding dress for the premiere of Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, it was for the premiere that you did it for?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you just did it like, you know, at a con or something, or just to do it. I didn't know you did it for. So that's how it happened. Yeah. It was for the premiere.
Yeah, I wanted to do it for the premiere of Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to just like cosplay to a movie premiere because I never did it before. So I was just like, let me just do it just for giggles. And then and that's how BeetleHarley came about. Because fun fact, BeetleHarley was not a thing.
Okay. I thought you had BeetleHarley first, is what I had just assumed, and then you were like, I'm doing some Beetlejuice stuff, so I'll just do Lydia too. That's like just my thought. I didn't know. I just assumed. That's cool though.
Oh no, yeah, BeetleHarley came after because when I was like out of a job, I was currently building a Kingdom Hearts Harley, which is still in the works right now.
Oh my god, I'm such a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, dude. No way.
Yeah, it's gonna be an organization-esque.
Oh my god, that is so cool, dude. Shit, that is amazing. I'm like nerding out, dude. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's so cool.
So how that came to be, I was just like, damn, I don't have enough money to finish this Kingdom Hearts Harley because I wanted actual chakrams as my choice of weapon, and they were expensive. So I was just like, damn, I can't do it. And then I was like looking at my Lydia cosplay, and I turned to my sister because this is how my sister helps me with my ideas. So I was just like, instead of Kingdom Hearts Harley, what do you think of BeetleHarley? And she's like, do it. And I was just like, cool. Oh. So we did it, and she made this shirt for me. And I was just like, I need something to go with it. And the jacket on the back, it says BeetleHarley 3 times on it. And I put like and stuff like that. And it just went off. I was excited with it.
That's so cool. You mentioned the Beetlejuice 2 premiere. So I got to ask, okay, first of all, I got to start with this. Are you with most of the world when we say that Beetlejuice 1 is clearly an absolute classic masterpiece? And then I ask, how did you feel about Beetlejuice 2?
I honestly did not like Beetlejuice 2.
Okay. I'm kind of like, I liked it for certain, I don't know how to say it, because like it almost pains me to say that I didn't like it as much as I wanted to like it. And that's how I feel. I didn't like it as much as I wanted to like it. Like for me in the trailers and stuff, I was kind of like, oh, this actually looks like they might do a good job, because I was really concerned. I was one of the people that I was like, I kind of wanted a Beetlejuice 2 throughout time. But then as time went on, I kind of leaned more towards, I don't know if I want a Beetlejuice 2 because I don't want them to ruin the legacy, you know? I kind of went towards that route. Then when they announced that they were doing it, I was really skeptical and like worried and concerned, because Beetlejuice is one of my favorite movies of all time. And then when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, you know what? It doesn't look as bad as it could be. Like, this might actually be good. Like, they may actually do something cool with this. But then when I saw it, I felt a little let down. I felt a little like, I don't know, like something's missing, you know?
Right.
And I feel like one of the things, actually, I can narrow down to one of the things that I thought was missing was, like, I know Michael Keaton is like 70 years old now, so I get he's not going to be doing a lot of the things that he did in the first one. But, like, I felt like there was a very drastic, like, energy change in Beetlejuice, the character himself. And again, I get that the actor is older, but I don't know how you explain it like lore-wise and story-wise, because I mean, I don't know if they ever touched on Beetlejuice's age, but I mean, you know, it's Beetlejuice. It's a different world. So he should still kind of be Beetlejuice. And I felt like Michael Keaton really downplayed the energy of Beetlejuice. And I was expecting like more like pizzazz and flash, and I didn't get it.
Right.
And that was something that let me down a little bit. I was like, I feel like I'm lacking the true Beetlejuice vibe here with the character.
That's how I felt, but not just that though. Like, I know they mentioned his wife in the first movie, and that's what a lot of people missed at, because they were like, who is this woman just running around the movie? Right, I'm like, that's his wife.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dolores had no story at all. She was just running through this movie, looking for Beetlejuice, and then boom, found them, and then that was it.
She had like 6 minutes of screen time. It was ridiculous.
Right. You know it was pure running around. And I'm just like, what is this? I'm not gonna lie. I was very, very hyped. I had very, very high hopes with this movie. Me too. And then I'm like sitting in my seat like, oh my God, yes. And then I was just like, what is this?
Exactly. Yeah. I was really because when I saw the trailer too, because a lot of people, I did see like a lot of people started in comments and stuff, and I never get political. I never talk about this stuff, but I just want to mention it real quick. Like, when the trailer first came out and everything, I saw a lot of people going like, oh God, it's a woman villain. I didn't look at it that way. I actually thought that she looked amazing. I thought the makeup was cool. I thought her look was cool. And I was like, this is going to be cool. Like, I don't have a problem with this at all. But then I was very let down with the way that they went about it, because like you said, everything you said, I second all of it. And then her very short screen time. And then like, she just could have done so much more. Like, I feel like they could have, dare I say, taken some of, I don't remember what her name is right now, but Lydia's daughter. Do you remember her name? I can't remember her name. Astrid. In my personal opinion, I feel like they could have taken some of the Astrid storyline, condensed it, and given some of that time to Dolores instead to have more stuff fleshed out, which may bring to the table that maybe they try to juggle too many character storylines, because also I'm forgetting everybody's name right now. I don't know why. Lydia's mom, or her stepmom technically. What's her name again? Why am I forgetting her name?
Lydia's stepmom.
Yeah.
I can't remember either.
You know what I mean? With the red hair, right?
Yeah.
I'm such a fan, and I feel like I'm letting myself down right now. I can't remember.
I can't remember anything.
I can't remember anything. Like, I can't remember, but she had a lot of screen time and a lot of story development, and I wasn't opposed to it though, because I do feel like she kind of was a standout star of it. I laughed at a lot of the stuff that she did. Actually, I felt like I laughed more at her than I laughed at like some of the stuff Beetlejuice did. But once again, I feel like the pacing was off, and maybe the timing with splitting up all the characters. Like did the stepmom really deserve as much screen time as she did when maybe we want more story development from Beetlejuice and his wife or ex-wife or whatever? Like, you know, did Astrid in that storyline with the guy, like, did that deserve as much screen time as it did when, once again, maybe we want more storyline between Dolores and Beetlejuice? Like, I don't know. I just felt like they could have split that up better. And I feel like maybe if they did that, that might have been part of what was lacking. But because I feel like overall the story was lacking, but I feel like you can circle it back to the fact that they built Dolores up to be such an integral part of the story, and then she like really wasn't. So I don't know. But I just thought I'd ask you about that, because nobody really talked about it. Like, when the movie came out, I didn't see, like, I saw so many people hyped to go see it. And then when the movie came out, I just didn't see anybody, like, reviewing it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even see, like, really bad reviews either. I was just like, why is nobody talking about this? I think everybody just kind of felt, like, a little disappointed and indifferent about it. You know, they're doing a third one? Yeah. Did you hear?
Wait, they are?
Yeah, they just announced that it's like, in the working stages. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it, but they're doing a third one. They announced that. I don't know how far in development it is or whatever. I think it's more just maybe in the talking stages, but just the fact that it's in the talking stages means that it's going to happen. It's likely to happen at some point in time.
So you know more than me, because I haven't heard anything about a third one.
I saw it just a couple days ago. Something. I'll look into it. Editing Chazzy will probably write a little something if it's, you know, confirmed or anything like that. But yeah, I saw a little something, and I don't know how I feel about it. I was reading comments, and a lot of people were like, you know, it'd be cool to like finish the story out. Like it makes sense if you're gonna call it like Beetlejuice, you know, for the third one, and like that'll be the end. Like finally put the nail in the coffin. It's over. But then at the same time, a lot of those people were saying, and I kind of agree, like, you know, I don't really know if we even needed a second one. You guys did the second one. You kind of didn't nail it with the second one. Do we want to risk you ruining the legacy with a third one?
Right.
And I'm kind of like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel too. Like, would you want a third one, or you do want to just leave it where it is?
I mean, no, because what are you going to put in the third movie? What does Beetlejuice have left to offer? Like, Dolores is not really a thing anymore. Yeah. She had her time running around the entire movie for like 6 minutes.
I know, doing
like,
nothing.
What more are you going to do? Like, go through Astrid's life, which is not really developed?
Yeah, I feel like, honestly, that, I mean, I think Lydia will always play a part. She's obviously a fan favorite. Her mother is dead now, so maybe she's going to play a part, like, you know, running into Beetlejuice or something. But I think you're right. I think the story would probably end up veering more towards Astrid as the main character, which she kind of already was. And then, of course, Beetlejuice. And then because Beetlejuice got to interact with Astrid, I see it probably focusing a little bit more on maybe Beetlejuice and Astrid as opposed to Beetlejuice and Lydia. That's what I think. Right. And I don't know if I want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I don't know if I want that. And where does Beetlejuice's story go, though? Like, what's the story for him? Like, I don't. Like, where does it go from here?
Like, booted off?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
His own reign, you know.
But what I do like, the one thing that I do like, and if they do a third one, I kind of want to see more of, is like the underworld, like hell and like all of that. Like, I like exploring that as opposed to exploring like Earth. Like, I already live on Earth. Right. I know what that looks like. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see like the underworld, and I want to see like all that stuff. That's something. If they do a third one, I'd love for them to explore otherworldly adventures. But anyway, that was a long tangent about Beetlejuice. Hopefully there's some other Beetlejuice fans out there. Lastly, we're going to get ready to round this episode out, and you have some other cosplays on your Instagram page, and we'll leave that for people to go see in case maybe they're not following you. Please go follow her now and go check out those other cosplays and everything. But like your Wednesday Addams is another one that's a standout for me. And I see a common theme here with you. You like the weird and unusual. And I myself am weird and unusual. And you also label yourself as a horror princess. And I often label myself as an Egyptian Greek horror demigod, which is weird because I'm not Greek, nor am I Egyptian. But I do really like horror movies, and I don't get to talk about them enough on the show other than maybe like around Halloween time. But we're going to get ready to round this episode out, and I want to have a little bit of a random horror fun with you. We're going to give, to the best of our abilities, and everyone knows I am indecisive as all hell, so this is very hard for me, our top 5 favorite horror films of all time. Or you can do favorite horror franchises, whichever one you want to do. Ladies first.
Okay. Well, if you haven't noticed by now, Bride of Chucky is literally my top. I can watch that movie over and over and over and over again. I will never get sick of it. And that's how I got infatuated with Tiffany more than Chucky.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite in that series too, actually. Yeah.
It's literally up there.
Yeah.
My second one would be the very first horror movie I ever watched as a kid was The Ring.
Oh man, The Ring. Yeah, phenomenal. Yeah. Great movie. Yeah.
And then followed by that, it was The Grudge. So that would be my third.
Oh yeah, God, great choices. Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street is my fourth.
Okay, nice. Yep.
And then my last one would either be Friday the 13th or The Exorcist. I can never on that last one.
Okay. Yeah, good choice. I thought it was going to be harder for you to choose, but it's just me. I'm just indecisive as all hell. But I'm going to do my best here. So I'll start with like some of the more ones that people probably would expect. And then I've got 2 at the end that I would say are kind of curveballs. I'm going to go with Halloween, the entire franchise, because it's too hard for me to pick one. And then I'm a weirdo. I'm going to throw this out there, and people always rip on me for this. Whenever I do Halloween episodes, I always talk about this. I actually liked the Rob Zombie renditions of Halloween a lot. I don't know if you ever saw those ones. Rob Zombie directed 2 Halloween movies. Yeah. A lot of people absolutely hate those renditions.
Why?
I see it everywhere. Comment sections on Reddit and on forums.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Everybody. I never see anybody say anything good about them. And when I talk to people, there's very few people that are like, yeah, I like those too. I come across it here and there. But the majority are like, no. We got to go with the classics. We don't talk about the Rob Zombies. I actually like the Rob Zombie ones. And I would put them in there, to be honest with you, as one of my favorites. But I got to go with the classics. Friday the 13th, I'm putting in there as well. I got to pick the franchise. I can't pick just one. Nightmare on Elm Street, I got to go with the franchise. I'm sorry. And I'm also another one that I liked aspects of. This one's different. I liked aspects of the remake with, oh man, I forgot his name. But I think it was like 2009 or something. I don't know. But there was the remake with the guy from The Watchmen. I don't know if you know the character, Rorschach from The Watchmen, the actor.
I think so.
There's a remake that got a lot of negative reviews as well. I don't like everything about it. I'm like 50-50. I like aspects of it.
Okay.
And then here's my curveballs here. Have you ever heard of the movie The Fourth Kind?
I don't think so.
Okay, watch it and tell me what you think whenever you get a chance. I don't know if it's streaming on anything. I have no idea. But it's an alien-based movie. But it's like... I don't know what it is, man. I got to watch it again now, like later in my life. But I remember when I first watched that movie, it scared the ever living shit out of me. I was like, and I was already older. I don't remember how old I was, but I was already older. Like I wasn't like a little kid or anything. But I was like one of those movies where I was like, I remember I went with some friends and I watched the movie and then I walked home. And like on my walk home, I was like looking over my shoulder type, like nervous, like it was like in my mind. Like, and then I remember I got home late and I was in the kitchen and I was like making like a sandwich or something, like a snack for myself. And I was like looking out the window, like, is somebody watching me? Like it gave me that feeling to where I was like, oh man, I was like all spooked and everything. So just because it gave me that feeling, I gotta put it in my top 5 if it made me feel that way. And then my last one, I'm gonna throw out Strangers. Have you seen that movie, Strangers?
I think so.
Where they like he proposes to his girlfriend, but she says no. And so things are all like weird.
Yes. Yeah. I did.
And then they go like to the house where he like has champagne and ice cream and all this shit. Cause like they were going to celebrate, but she said no. So they're all like crying and upset. And then these strangers come knocking on the door and it's a whole night of absolute terror. And it ends crazy. That movie always stuck out to me ever since I watched that movie. So I've got to put it in my top 5. If I always think about it, I got to put it in my top 5. So we got some similarities there, though. I like that. That's pretty cool. We are going to get ready to wrap up. But just real quick, I want to ask, last question I want to ask you before we leave is kind of like your future into cosplay. Because you said that you got a Kingdom Hearts Harley coming. Amazing. I believe earlier in the episode, you mentioned something else that you wanted to do or you were working on or something like that. So I kind of want to know, like, what's your adventures in cosplay look like when it comes to Harley? And then... since you tend to do a lot of DC, you do a lot of mashups with Harley, other than your Venomized Harley that you have, which kind of cross over with Marvel, do you have any Marvel cosplays that you've ever wanted to do? Do you have anything maybe coming in the future or anything else as well? Like maybe it's movie, horror, gaming, like what's your future look like in cosplay?
I did like announce this like briefly on my Instagram, like I'm going to stop doing most of my Harleys. For the simple fact that I bleached my hair for this.
Takes a toll.
So my hair's angry at me. So I'm going to stop doing most of my Harleys. The only 2 that I'm going to do next year is my Kingdom Hearts Harley, which has a wig. Yeah. And my very last mashup that I'm doing is Harley Punisher.
Nice. That's so cool, dude.
I'll be dyeing my hair natural for that one and try to Harlify it with makeup and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
But I do want to move and expand my horizons in like anime and gaming stuff because there's a lot on my cosplay list that I need to catch up on. Such as like Android 21 Majin version. I want to really get that off. And there's like some other things from like gaming. Have you ever played Apex?
Yeah. I didn't get too into it, but yeah, I did play it here and there for a little bit. Yeah, I wanted to cosplay a gender bent Caustic. Okay, yeah. That'd be cool
I
as hell.
wanted to do that. Yeah. But specifically his Divine Right skin, where he has like a bandage over his eyes.
Nice. Okay.
I do have like more other horror stuff that I want to do. I want to redo a Freddy Krueger one. Nice. And also I do want to touch on like The Grudge and The Ring. Like I want to go
would be cool.
more into horror next year and more into anime. Because I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
More stuff. Because I feel like I've been so not like suffocated with the Harley stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like my ideas keep spiraling out of control because initially my Harley Jinx was supposed to be my last one. Mm-hmm. But then when I did announce that I am dyeing my hair natural again, I was like, I don't want to just dye my hair natural and just be like, I'm not doing it anymore. I want to go out with a bang. So that's why I wanted to do Harley Punisher for my last one. And then it'll give me time next year to draw out more Harley mashups because I did think about another mashup for Harley that, includes Assassin's Creed.
Ooh, nice. That's so cool. That's so cool to hear.
Let me tell you, Chazzy, my mind is like filled with Harley mashup ideas. You can't even like swim through it. Like there's too many ideas in my brain.
I can't wait. Yeah,
that's why I need the year off so I can like kind of like
get everything together,
regather myself instead of just doing it like on the fly. Because all of my Harley mashups, Chazzy, are 80% done. They're
that's so cool. Done. Yeah, but that's cool. That's close to 80%, and it's not like 20%. So it's cool. It's like, it's almost there. I can't wait. That's going to be so cool. You just listed like so many Harley that I'm stoked about. What was that? I'm sorry.
With my Venomized Harley, I'm doing upgrades to it. So there's going to be a bodysuit now.
Oh, no way.
It's going to be really hot, but I don't think I'm going to bring it to Cosplay World. I'm still deciding, but I am going to try to finish it by the time New York Comic Con rolls around.
Nice.
But
okay.
That's really expensive, and I've been trial and erroring this bodysuit for months at this point, and I've been taking breaks because it's just been irritating me, but I'm slowly getting that done.
Well, that's going to be awesome, man. I can't wait. That's going to be so cool. You have so many cool things coming, and it's awesome to finally have you on the show. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it, especially like we've had the scheduling and me being sick and this and that and everything that we've had going on. So I really appreciate it. I'm stoked that you finally did this. I'm stoked that we finally did this. And thanks to everybody that's tuning in as well and bearing with me on the scheduling these last couple weeks here. If you're not following Asylum Harley on Instagram, please go do so. It's spelled exactly how it sounds. We are wrapping up. Harley, thank you for coming. Is there anything else that you'd like to say before we leave?
Not really, but go follow me. Go follow Chazzy if you haven't. If you haven't followed Chazzy, what are you doing with your life? And I'll see you at CradleCon in Cosplay World.
Yes, definitely. I can't wait. We are going to shoot some really awesome content. Ladies and gentlemen, please go follow Asylum Harley at Asylum Harley. Like I said, spelled exactly how it sounds. And everybody is tuning in right now. Thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all of those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Projekt Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red subscribe button. When you do, and you get 100 sexy Projekt points. Thank you for listening and watching on Spotify. His videos are available on Spotify as well. When you follow and you rate and do all the things you do, I appreciate you. From the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at IGHatesChazzy. That is my personal. If you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it on Instagram at Side Projekt Podcast. Remember, that's Project with a K. And Side Projekt merch available on the Side Projekt Podcast on sideprojectmerchstore.com. Oh my God. Me being sick, I can't even get my own website right. Side Projekt merch available on the Side Projekt merch store via sideprojectpodcast.com. For me, for Harley, and for all of our favorite horror movies, we are out of here.